pull it.
Here we go. Let's go. Guys are ready,
Can
right?
I have ice cream for dinner tonight?
Oh, no, honey, but I'll get you some tofu and soybeans.
Can I at least skip school tomorrow?
No. We can't skip school. How will you become indoctrinated?
Can I at least be a pirate?
Oh, my goodness. Do you want to talk about leg reassignment surgery so we could get you, chop one off and get you a peg leg?
He is so brave.
Hey, you are so brave, but you cannot call him a he anymore. Do you prefer captain or matey?
Maybe.
Okay, matey. We could even do I, take out one so you could get the patch and have your true identity. Oh,
If that's what matey wants, matey gets.
Kind of a funny intro being I'm eating pizza.
Yeah.
But that's because, there was a pizza like place that was real controversial.
No,
I'm not going there. I'm just saying.
You're going. You just
Also, the video goes down. Yeah, look at that. Romeo.
I got them all. All the high-powered people are here.
What is going on, guys?
yeah, his normal self. Last minute.
Well, I
Well,
tried to
I
do.
forgot that I was going to have to email myself the link, bro.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's what
But
I
I've
did.
been trying to get all you guys together. I tried to do like something at the end of the year, but it just wasn't working out. So that it's fitting that here we're going to start this new 2025, and I see all your faces, and the whole reason why I even get involved in doing this stuff is mainly for you guys. That's how I got my start and got brave enough to get out here and start talking in front of people and so forth. But anyway,
Dave is now guilty this end of this. Thanks, Dave, for making us feel like shit.
Yeah. Okay. Good. But
So what you want to talk about, mine? What you got on your mind?
yeah. Well, so
Oh no, it's wrong.
what I want to do every week, but you guys, I'm not asking you guys to be out here every week, but just get people to drop in here and there, but basically just chat about what happened, during the last week, and maybe what's coming down the pike for the next week and what to watch out for and stuff like that. So that's basically what this little show I'm going to do every Sunday evening. And if you guys want to join me, that's fine, and I'll just run it for as long as it'll go.
Can I
But I
kick
see
things
AC
off?
Cruz out there, and Stormbringer, and Wild Rider, and Lisette, and Andrew. Thank you guys for hanging in there and waiting for the intro to start. So I think what we'll just kind of go around and just everybody kind of talk about what the highlights of this week.
Well, why don't we
meant to
go?
do.
Why don't we go Romeo and then come around back to
Yeah,
you,
okay.
or you could start with yourself, then go to Romeo and go around.
We'll just start with Romeo and go.
Okay.
around.
All right. Right now, there are a great number of different things going on, moving pieces, and truthfully, they're alarming. Just what happened on the first of the year in and of itself, especially the Las Vegas one, although the New Orleans one is horrible too. But I have, Matt and I were talking to a Green Beret that we've been on with before. And I mean, he's just like, he's a Green Beret. He has his own company and teaches all kinds of stuff. He's on point. And so I'm talking to Matt, and like, there are very few facts about Vegas that we like know for sure. Like, one of the things we know for sure is he wasn't trying to hurt anybody but the guy in the car. That was the only, it wasn't meant to hurt anybody else. But my point is, we know so very little as far as concrete facts. We know he was a Green Beret, this guy, but the number of reliable concrete facts, I mean, it reminds me of it's the absolute inverse of Roush, who is the one who took a crack at Trump on the golf course.
It's
But
Ralph.
it's like, yeah, Rousch, Roush or something
No,
like
it's RUTH.
Okay.
Ralph.
But
Like
what
David Lee Ralph.
yeah, what's so bizarre is that there's information overload in a way I've really never seen on a case this quickly, but the information is all suspect as a mother, you know? So I'll let somebody else go. There, I dropped the ball. There it is, guys.
Go ahead, Shane.
Go ahead, Jen.
About this particular topic, I think if y'all seen the Sean Ryan show the other day where the manifesto was actually dropped, I watched it pretty much in real time within a few minutes of when the show first started airing. I knew it was going to be big news as soon as I started listening to it. I thought this sounds more like anything close to the truth than I've heard from any other news source, any other bit of information, any speculation from anybody. And so I started thinking, okay, there's probably some truth, at least in this story, the manifesto. And then they started talking about how his number was changed on Signal. And the guy proved it. If y'all followed that pretty closely, he was actually being able to show in real time that his text messages versus what his Signal number was had actually changed. And so my question is, who changed the bombers or the guy that blew himself up? What's his name? Levelberger.
Levensberger.
Okay,
you could call. He calls himself Matt Berg.
Matt. Okay. Well, Matt, I believe he did this to draw attention, to bring attention to the fact of what he said about gravity vehicles and things of that nature. This may be the rabbit hole he went down. I can't say any of this is true or speculation on his part, but I believe he believed in it so much that he was willing to die to let it be known that this needs to be exposed. I mean, if they call him a terrorist, I think they're calling it wrong. I think this is somebody that was trying to get his story out there. And if you listen to the whole interview, I think he almost got to the point he was going to get an interview with somebody, and he just run out of time. And I think he felt like he had to do this in order to prevent from being incarcerated before his story got squashed. That would be the only reason I would think you would pull the self-destruct button. I don't agree with none of it, but I do think that exposing the deep state by crazy means sometimes is necessary. Not to say violent means, but sometimes you have to go to crazy tactics in order to beat the system that's beating you. And I feel bad for the guy. I feel bad that he spent 20 years of his life in the service of our military, probably highly trained in so many things. And in the end, he takes his own life because he can't handle what he's seen, what he dealt with, and what he knew to be the truth that he wasn't allowed to talk about. I feel bad for people like he's what I would call a whistleblower or an attempted whistleblower. And to all those people, I just want to say those are the people that are going to make the difference in this next term, next 4 years. I believe a lot of those people are going to come out and get people's ass grilled to the wall with prosecutions, indictments, and things. And we're going to need people that are willing to step up and do things, not necessarily blow themselves up, but step up and do the right thing. And I think he was trying to do the right thing, and it just didn't go right.
All right, I guess it's my turn. I tend to look at that letter a little bit differently than Shannon. I go with it with skepticism, but I'll explain that on tomorrow's live. I don't want to take up all the time, but I think people are paying attention to this, what happened in New Orleans. Also, what happened today, they found a suspicious package in D.C. about 5 miles from the Capitol building. That's not a coincidence. They've also arrested a former military man in December 6th. He was trying to leave the military, go to Hezbollah so he could kill Jews. You have NBC that's now saying the most dangerous people in the United States are not illegal immigrants, are not people coming from the Middle East. It is people that are former military. This is, in my opinion, it's a psyop. It's trying to convince people the military is a problem. We need to change our training practices and so on and so forth. And they want to keep the woke crap in there. Is pretty much what I'm telling you. The other thing also, I was like, this is not a coincidence. This is happening before January 6th. And right now, you have Marjorie Taylor Greene just put an email out, or an email tweet, sorry, that everybody that's in Congress was told to stay because the storm was coming, so they'll be there for the vote. Guess what? None of them stayed. They went home. She did, and a few others did. But everybody else went home. So now they're going to have to try to get back there in the middle of a snowstorm that's on the East Coast, and most of them are from West Coast, Central U.S., so on and so forth. That's going to be a problem. Guess what? People aren't in there to vote. They can't confirm the election. So, in my opinion, what they're trying to do is push it off past the 10th. And that's the reason the 10th is important, because that's when Trump's going into court and he's getting his sentencing. They want to do that because at that point, when he gets sentenced, then they could try to make sure he doesn't become president somehow. This is just, in my opinion, they want you to pay attention to this that's going on with Vegas, New Orleans, what's going on with the drones, so on and so forth. It's all bunk. They want you to pay attention to that and not pay attention to what they're trying to do politically and trying to do to Trump. That's just my opinion. But go ahead. It's your turn, man. Go ahead, John.
All right. Well, Matt, you guys pretty much are covering most of it. The only couple things that I can add on to this that I can think of offhand was I saw today about a couple hours ago that they did find out that this particular guy from Nevada, he did reach out for help, for psychiatric help. He has done that. He's had some problems before in the past. But getting further on to this, I agree with Matt that something is definitely wrong. I mean, Merchan, we know how he hates Trump with a passion. He not only wants to make sure that he never gets into office, he wants him in jail. And how he has been all of a sudden jumping in at the last minute in these last couple of months just does not make any sense. We thought we heard the last from him a couple of weeks ago. Boom, he's all of a sudden changes something else. And now he's changed something else again. It's like Matt said, something stinks here. Something is not right. They're trying to turn something around. Now, keep in mind, too, Raskin has come out several times in the past 6 months and said that he is going to halt tomorrow. He's going to halt Trump becoming president. Maybe this is part of a big plan they've got. They've had plenty of time to plan this out. And, it doesn't look good, because I think that they've really got some devious plans planned ahead. And if it should go the 10th, maybe something else can happen. They can try to pull martial law out. I don't know. Everything is beyond the realm of what normality is. And whatever they're going to do, it's not going to be legal, but who's going to stop them? We don't have our people in control yet. So with that, I'll pass it on to you, William.
Operation Sea Spray. Yeah.
Change the subject. Okay.
Well, I mean, that's like, well, I mean, I agree with Matt on the letter, by the way, with the dude that did it. Yeah, I think there's something really fishy about that. And Colton, like I said, it's also being released by Intel, ex Intel, and I just did a long video.
Yeah, when when people like that release something like that, believe half of what you're seeing, maybe half, if you're lucky.
Yeah. And then it plays right into their Operation Blue Beam stuff that they got, and I'm really apprehensive as to the fact there's something's just not right about the whole thing. Is like with the dude deleting himself. I think that, in my opinion, there's a possibility that he might have been already pre-deleted, and then Tesla. I mean, Elon says, "Oh, there's no way because the Tesla can't drive without somebody who's awake." Well, I'm like, well, we got military hackers.
That's not the only reason that's no way that could happen. It's also because when they looked at the whenever you decide to go into self-drive mode, it registers in the computer, into the black box of the computer of the car. It never got registered into self-drive mode. Now the police found that, and so did Tesla.
Well, maybe
Not only that, a new video just got released where the guy turns his head in the video.
He's moving as
so he's live.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Well,
So
that's a
that's
good sign.
even
I don't know.
more,
So there's
that's even more bizarre information, because you would think if you were gonna vote yourself off the island, you would do it in the least painful way possible. And in my estimation, this is the opposite of that. This is the most painful conceivable way to go. I don't get it. It doesn't nothing in that letter logically follows. Here, let me give you some examples.
Let's let William finish his what he.
I'm sorry. I thought he was done.
Well, it's okay.
Then it's Dave's turn.
Yeah. But I was just recently so that debunks a little bit of my thought about the dude with the Tesla thing. So, but there's still something real fishy about it. And then I've been a lot of reports of people's having different issues with their health recently, and they've been saying strange things with taste in the air and water and all this stuff. So I did a little bit of research, and I won't go into detail because I don't know how Dave's channel is going to handle. I'm going to see how my video holds up, but I did some research on some very basic mainstream news and media, which is like Wikipedia and PBS had huge big articles about Operation Sea Spray, which is something that dates back into the 50s, but it ties right into unannounced, unethical experiments on the United States population by whoever they want to do it by. And I think everybody should take their time and do a little bit of research on Operation Sea Spray and how this all progressed now, and what we're looking at with some of the things that tie into the things that they wanted to put in you in 2020 with the stuff that they mandated with the Fauci stuff. So anyways, that's my thing. Dave, roll into it. I got to go help my wife because the dog did something bad. I'll be right back. Right back.
I'm going to roll right off of what William said, because I was watching just the other day that gal that came forward that had been, she claims that she'd been hit by an energy beam, and a bunch of federal employees have been affected. So and I'm thinking to myself, well, I remember way back when they were testing syphilis in the early years. Our government has been testing on us. What makes you think that they're not doing it right now? I mean, if they did it back then, they just have better ways of covering it up or making it look like it was, clearly accidental. So
the point is, they're doing it. They're definitely willing to experiment on the U.S. public at large. I mean, time after time after time, we've seen that sort of thing.
I think Williams they was in the 1950s, right?
They started in the 50s.
Yeah, in the 50s. And they flew over San Francisco, which, I mean, of all places, I think that's probably one of the better places to go. But
some of the very first experiments took place. That was logs were in the Pentagon. People that worked in the Pentagon were experimented on to begin with. Then they seen the success and started spanning out to larger and larger venues. By the way, I got and then it talks about how they had vehicles set up to spray these things on the ground, nozzles on buildings. And I got a big earful from Gina when I used to be on This Way Network because I talked about that. She said, and I was like, I didn't say anything, but whatever. And I took a few minutes to do a little bit of my research so I could put this out there. And on mainstream Wikipedia, even after it's been controlled by the lefties who don't want any information coming out, it's still up. It's even on PBS. There's military documents that are unclassified, declassified, however you want to say it, that talk all about this and go into great detail. So none of it's speculation to anybody out there. And that right there in itself should alarm everybody, especially when it comes to what we see coming out of a lot of the aircraft that just hangs around. And then there was, the great drone thing popped off. That was weird. And then that Bill Gates does right in our face with those GMO mosquitoes and all that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. See, that's just another form, and I almost have to believe that a lot of the stuff that Gates is doing, somehow our government is tied in with that experimentation too. So
Oh, they're
I
probably
wouldn't put it
giving him a
past-
grant. They're
Right,
probably
Yeah,
right.
oh yeah,
I mean, yeah, just follow the money.
Right. Hey,
Yeah.
as far as this Vegas thing, let's just talk about this for one more minute, because listen to how bizarre the next like 4 or 5 items I'm gonna lay out are. In the letter, he says that Homeland and the FBI are following him. Yet he keeps his phone when every 13-year-old knows if you carry your phone, people will know where you are. Okay?
Exactly.
And this
I
is
thought that
special-
right away when I saw that.
right.
Well,
This is a
not only
special
that,
forces
if you don't want them to know where you're at, why would you rent a cyber truck?
Yes, Matt.
Yeah,
Yes.
for real.
And
That's
then here's the
vehicle's
next
connected.
yes, here's the next one. He says in it that he's pretty sure he can keep Homeland and FBI in check because he's got a vehicle-borne improvised explosive device. Okay,
that's
And
weird.
okay, so listen to this. That is laughably stupid. How would having and this wasn't even a powerful one. It was put in a car that's bulletproof, and that it's the worst car, the worst choice as far as trying to create a car, you know what, that you could pick. And it was filled with like camping supplies and some propane and some fireworks. This was obviously not intended to hurt anybody but the driver. So, but even if you had an Oklahoma City type one, that would not protect you from Homeland. It's laughable. So, and there's other
Well,
complete.
not only that, the bad thing about the Cybertruck is it could get hacked by the government and they could shut it down.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why I say
Or lock the doors in it
Cybertruck
and
is fully
drive you
connected.
somewhere.
So you think this entire manifesto email was a false flag just
Well,
to send people on a
here's the
different
thing. Here's the
trail?
thing. Tomorrow on my live, I'm going to be talking about it with Lisa, and let's just say there's a lot of indicators that shows that this thing's not real. Not only that, he's done 2 interviews now, and let's just say I've caught him in and pretty much him not sticking with the story. It's changed, and what I'm talking about is who actually redacted the names. Okay, that's the last Easter egg I'm going to give you. Yeah, go and watch the live tomorrow. But in my opinion, there's something weird. Not only that, it's not the only manifesto they have found. The cops have found 2 letters on his phone as well. The first one looks like it's written by Donald Trump. The second one looks like it's written by Democrats, Democrats for Republicans, because they believe Republicans actually would want to do this, use ex-military to go into D.C. and take over D.C. and kill all Democrats. That's what and then this one here is like, first thing, I don't think the main, you're focusing on the wrong part of the letter on the drones. The other part of the letter that's actually, I think, damning that is that in 2019 that he was in Afghanistan and they bombed a bunch of civilians there, and it did supposedly it did happen, and it was a war crime supposedly.
It did happen. It's old news.
Yeah,
It's
supposedly it was
old news.
and it was a war crime, and he was involved in it. And he in the administration, which would have been Donald Trump at the time, swept it under the rug. Now, if that's true or not, I don't know. When it comes to all the sweeping it under the rug, all this stuff, but what it does is it actually implicates Donald Trump in actually being involved in killing civilians and hiding the truth. And even Marjorie Taylor Greene, she did a tweet. She's like, if this is true, just changes everything.
Yeah.
And you know what she means by that.
Well, and check this out. I got another detail. This is from the Green Beret, Gary, from Paramount Tactical. I'll drop the name of his channel because it's fantastic.
Awesome channel.
Yeah, everyone should subscribe to it immediately without even a second question. But do you know how they said he was UAP certified? So I clarified that. I said to Gary, I said, does that mean like he could be running a Predator ISR? And he's like, no, man. He goes, listen, we have small units, a dozen guys that go out into the field together. One of those guys has got to be trained, and I forget the name. I think it's Raven or something like that. It's that handheld, you turn the motor on and then you throw it to launch it, and it's an ISR, so infrared. It goes up plenty high. It has, you know, a decent battery life. And as a small squad, you can use it to see, you know, at least 5 miles and probably way more, you know, getting up just 500 feet or so. So you can use it to monitor your position. If it sees movement, it'll alert you. So that's the type of drone training he had. And my point is this guy wasn't personally guilty of being a drone driver that launched any missiles in these alleged war crimes. Another thing that just makes no sense at all about this whole story is like disinformation. I mean, I'm thinking like the high probability is there's 2 high probabilities. Either he didn't write the letter or he's just nuts. He just, look at, you can get traumatic brain injury, and this is factual. A lot of these special operators that been in the field for 18 years, like this guy, okay, they get TBI. Every time you're there and they use a, you know, they knock your door down with an explosive charge, you're standing right there. You're eating that pressure blast, not a fatal amount of it, but you're getting concussions on the regular when you're kicking doors in. So there's that angle of it. And then there's the,
well, I don't know if I'd call it concussion. What you're saying is concussed, where it's not quite a concussion, but it's a concuss, and it adds as time goes on, and it damages your brain.
Right.
It's cumulative,
like real mild injury, but then over and over and over, it could cause long-term problems.
Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
So.
Go ahead, Dave. It's cumulative damage.
Yeah.
You're right on point.
But
I could pick out other things.
You know what got me about one thing that got me about the letter is it said 1 Jan instead of January 1st. And I was like, he's an American, not European. You know, Europeans use 1 Jan, not American.
Now, the only thing I can say to try and steel man that is he was stationed in Germany and operating out of Ukraine.
Well, if he was writing something to another NATO member that's a European, it would make sense. But he's not. He's writing it to someone that's a United States citizen that's former intel agent.
And he got his car wrong. His verification of
his car's wrong too. His first vehicle, if you go, someone debunked that on Twitter. If you look at the first car he ever had was a Mustang 89. 98, which if you look at the body style of a 98 to a 2006, it's a completely different body style.
98 to 04.
But when you hear them talking about it,
those things are some of the ugliest Mustangs ever built.
When you heard them talking about it,
that's the Ford Taurus of the Mustang.
Yep. You know, when going back to the show. That show, I watched it too, and
I got less armpit hair than Kamala's daughter.
And you see the points that he's bringing up and about the car, like you were saying, and so forth. Your initial thing is it sounds really believable until you go and you do a little bit of fact checking or saying, well, hey, how come they didn't do this or how come he didn't do that? Why would he do? So. My thought halfway through that was I was thinking, well, can you really make this shit up and get away with it? I mean, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking that what if they just got this all put together to sensationalize and do the show? He flew
home from Europe into Colorado, and then his letter is all about how he has to get across the border and escape into Mexico by the 1st, basically. But he drives from Colorado to Vegas. That is not the direct way to Mexico.
It's not only that. When he did it, he went straight into Arizona and then curved up instead of going up like that.
Right. Everything he did
hey,
indicates I'm not going to Mexico.
Yeah.
real quick.
Well,
They, if you, Dave says, can they actually make that up? They tried to tell us that they let a CNN anchor chick walk through a recently
Good point.
police
Yes.
like I made the point. I was like, if they have like like something at mass events, a school, I'm just going to be really careful how I word that. Nobody's going to their house. Nobody went into the Trump assassinee person house to check that place out. Look at what we found here. Look, no silverware. I mean, they actually filmed a woman walking in less than 48 hours after a search has been done.
It's worse than that. They contacted her and invited her into
Yeah.
You need to look in the background.
DEA, John.
You need
the whole thing.
Someone got invited 12 hours after a crime scene on a national terror.
Hey, Romeo, look into the background of that reporter and you'll find out why.
Yeah,
So,
it has to be, Matt.
But in a real investigation, like if it's like a J6er right now, they confiscated a Lego set, and they won't let people go into houses. None of these people has been months. Like if somebody's been deleted and they're doing an investigation, that house stays sealed off for months, if not until the trial's over, in case they miss
Forever.
something. Yeah. And so there's just, and then they left things there like hard drives and papers put out perfectly, and look, there's still some chemicals. Oh wow! Look, there's chemicals here, and the door's not on. I'm like,
hey, William, I want to add something to this. You compared what they did. Let's say if they did something fraudulent, and compared it to what CNN did. The difference is, what Dave did actually they could be charged for being interfering into a investigation.
Oh yeah,
that could be jail time. Now, when it comes to CNN. What they did right there, it's no different than what they did with Cuomo with the during COVID. Saying he doesn't go out, so on and so forth when he does. So it's a little bit, it's not time worth. You're not going to go to prison for it. These two guys, which I don't think Sean Ryan had anything to do with doing anything bad. He didn't have malintent of hurting anybody. But the other guy, I'm not so sure about. So I'm going to go.
For sure got thrown into the middle of this without a choice.
Yes, and
Matt and I talked about it. You could see that because we both watch. We probably all watch a lot of his videos, and he was visibly pissed off.
Yeah,
to be involved.
Well, guys,
I just can't believe there's people right now. Yeah,
I was going to say, let's go ahead and let's let John have the last word. He hasn't talked much.
Well, I'm gonna go around because I want to go the other direction. I want to go with William, and just give us a little prediction of what you think is going to be happening this next week, and then go to John, down Matt, and on out, and we'll just close out.
They're gonna count the votes for the presidential thing on Zoom.
No, they can't.
Yeah.
I know they can't.
That's a pretty good prediction.
Sorry.
No, I know that. That one chick saying that. Why don't we have a? Remember Stacey Plaskett the other day getting pissed off because she didn't realize how Congress works. Yeah,
she still doesn't know how it works.
No, I'm just saying. But she's like, I want a voice. But it doesn't work like that, lady. All of a sudden, I was waiting for her to say, I'm a black, indigenous, BIPOC. Nah, why can't you change the rules for me? Anyways, John, go ahead.
Okay, John.
Well, I'm going to stick my neck out on this one and say that tomorrow's not going to come off the way that we had hoped it will. I have a feeling that Raskin's got something up his sleeve with the Democrats, and things are not going to go through tomorrow, and it's going to be continued. That's just my opinion.
All right. I agree with John, but it's not because of Raskins. This can be because of the weather and people can't show up. It'll go all the way to the 8th. 8th will be the day they'll actually do the count. Then something will happen. They'll try to delay it for another 2 days until January 10th. and then all hell's going to break loose because they want as much chaos as possible to hurt the economy and so on and so forth. I think the chaos element is what they really want, so they could do martial law. But we'll wait and see what happens when it comes to the cases that are going on. The one in New Orleans, the one in also, especially the one in Las Vegas. That right there, information is going to keep on coming out, distracting people from what's important with what's going on here to this crap over here, and that's the plan, in my opinion.
Let's hear it for the police chief in New Orleans,
Nancy.
I think Biden is going to give out another gold medal to Mark Elias, and then the other
That's good.
And then the other 158 Democrats that voted against Nancy Mace's bill to kick the illegal immigrants out of the country that caused
like kids.
thing. Yeah, that like kids. The 158 Democrats, I suspect they'll get a medal on their way out the door, on Biden's way out the door as well.
Including a pardon.
Just including a pardon just for being a loyal Democrat. Go ahead, Romeo.
Everyone's kind of hit on what I think. I guess the only thing I would add is it wouldn't surprise me if it takes a couple extra days from the 6th to get the votes counted, but I do believe they'll be counted. I do believe Trump will be sworn in. And I think a lot of what's going on right now is being done to conceal something else.
Yeah.
And that something else is probably not one thing, but many things, but one or two things of extremely high importance. And so these stories are covered to distract us from that. And as one plausible thing, look at all the money. These government agencies have to spend all this money that's been allocated to them before Trump gets in and shuts it down.
Oh, yeah.
DC is in a panic right now to get everything they've been given by Biden given out before it's like use it or lose it money. That's all I would say.
Yeah, when it comes to January 6th, I tend to agree with Romeo. That's most likely scenario. I tend to go with the reason I mentioned about they'll try to do something to push it along, because I see that happening, but it's not going to work because they're not in control of the House. But anyway, go ahead, John. Dave.
Okay. All right. Well, we actually ran over time, but I appreciate everybody coming out. I really appreciate all you guys coming out and hanging out with a small guy like me. And
he might be small on YouTube, but not in the pants.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm in
and I want to thank everybody. I see Nancy Dunks made it over, so I want to say hey to her, and Stormbringer, and Andrew, and Lisette, Wild Rider, all you guys, appreciate you coming out, hanging out with us.
Stormbringer and everybody,
yeah, we'll be seeing you again next Sunday, 5 Central Time. And
I was gonna say thanks Nancy for the comment. Appreciate it.
Yes.
Yeah. Sure. Thank you all for being here. Yeah, thank you very much, everybody.
Appreciate all the comments.
Everybody.
Okay.
And Stormbringer doing his thing, and everybody. Yeah, y'all are great. Awesome people.
Much love.
As usual, everybody, kudos to them all.
Yeah.
It's not over.
I don't know what's going on.
It's not over until I say so. We're not over because, for me, it's not over. This is just the beginning.